Ferdinand, this is strange. Your father's in some passion that works him strongly. Then Ferdinand says, it seems as if your father is quite in a dilemma and he seems to be quite troubled. Is there something wrong with him? Miranda, never till this day, so I am touched with anger, so distempered. Miranda said that till now I have never seen my father so much troubled and being in anger in such a mood, in such a way. Prospero, you do look, my son, in a moved sort, as if you were dismayed. Be cheerful, sir. Our revels are now are ended. These our actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits and are melted into air, into thin air. And like the baseless fabrics of this vision, the cloud clad towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yea, all which it inherit, shall dissolve, and like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such a stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. Sir, I am vexed. Bear with my weakness, my brain is troubled. Be not disturbed with my infirmity. If you be pleased, retire into my cell and there repose. A turn or two I will walk to still my beating mind. Then Prospero says, my son, you seem to be so much upset and look as if you are scared. Be cheerful, and our merry-making function has been over now. Those actors that you had seen in that illusion were all the spirits, and they have been very. And as soon as I made a sound, they all have vanished into the air, into the thin air. And these are actually the baseless fabric of vision that you saw. That means as if you were seeing an illusion, and on the count of something, they all vanished off. And then he says that they were just like unreal visions. The great towers rising to the clouds, grand palaces and holy temples, the great world itself with its people will vanish, fading out like this unreal vision. So he says that similarly, in the same way, in our real life also, the great palaces, the high towers, the kings, the great people, they all will vanish also like this one day. That even not a trace will be left of them. So we humans are made of the same substance because we also have to die one day as we are alive now, but one day all of us have to die one by one and will have to go to an eternal sleep. Then he says that I am very much troubled, but please do not mind. Do not be troubled by my own trouble. If you are tired, you can go into my cell and have rest, and you can repose there. As for my part, I have to walk here and there, or I'll take two or more rounds in order to calm my mind. Then Ferdinand and Miranda says, "We wish you peace." Then both of them say, "Okay, okay, father, we wish you peace." And then they both exit. Prospero, come with a thought. I thank thee, Ariel, come. Then Prospero says, come quickly, Ariel, with a thought, and I thank you for all the deeds that you have done to me. Ariel re enters. Ariel, thy thoughts I cleave to. What's thy pleasure? Ariel says that I am clinging to your thoughts. Whatever you think are immediately taken up by me. So, what is your next order? Prospero, spirit, we must prepare to meet with Caliban. Prospero says now is the time that we should meet Caliban. Ariel, my commander, when I presented Ceres, I thought to have told thee of it, but I feared lest I might anger thee. Ariel says, yes, this is the right time because when I called Ceres over here, I was about to tell you about Caliban, but I was afraid that maybe you may get irritated. Prospero, say again, where didst thou leave these varlets? Prospero says that, tell me again, where have you left those scoundrels? Ariel, I told you, sir, they were red hot with drinking, so full of valor that they smote the air for breathing in their faces, beat the ground for kissing off their feet, yet always bending towards their project. Then I beat my tabor, at which unbacked colts thy pricked their ears, advanced their eyelids, lifted up their noses as they smelt music, so I charmed their ears, that calf like they my loving followed through. So Ariel says, I told you, Master, their faces were so much filled up with red. They had become red in faces due to excessive drinking of wine. And then they were so much drenched in wine that they started beating the air for touching their faces, as if they were considering or personifying air as to be human being, and they started beating the air with their slaps. Even uh, they also stamped the ground for touching their feet. They were so much in, you can say, unconscious state due to high drinking, but still they were all determined to kill you. So I beat my drum, and then like untrained horses, they pricked their ears because they were attracted by that music. They lifted their eyes and raised their noses as they heard the music. That means as soon as they heard the music, they lifted their eyes. They pricked their ears as if they were listening something new, and they raised their noses as soon as they heard my music. I cast a spell on their ears so that, like a calf, they followed me through thorny briars, sharp furze bushes, prickly gourds, and thorns which pierced their legs. Finally, I left them to a dirt covered pool beyond your cell, where they were in the dirt covered pool with dirty water up to their chins. So Ariel says, when they after that they started following me, then I left them into a dirty pool which is behind your cell, in which the dirty water of that pool is touching up to their chins. So they are drenched into that pool. But when they were passing through the streets following my music, I let them pass through narrow streets, through thorny bushes, in such a way that the thorny bushes pricked their legs and they were wounded also. Prospero, this was well done, my bird. Thy shape invisible retain thou still. The trumpery in my house, go bring it hither, for stale to catch their thieves. Then Prospero says, well done, Ariel. I'm very much happy that whatever you have done. Now go into my cell and bring some flashy garments, bright colored garments, which are lying in my cell, in order to attract or catch them into a trap. These thieves, Caliban, Stefan, and Trinculo. Ariel. Okay, I will go. Prospero. A devil, a born devil, on whose nurture can never stick, on whom my pains, humanely taken all lost, quite lost, and as with age his body uglier grows, so his mind cankers. I will plague them all, even to roaring. Now Prospero says Caliban is a devil, a born devil, right from the beginning, since he had taken birth from the witch Sycorax. And on such creatures, education has no effect. For some time, you may feel that they have been cultured, but actually, they will get back to their original character. So, all my time has been wasted training him in order to make him a cultured and a civilized person. As his body becomes more ugly with age, so his mind also is growing evil day by day. But I will torment them till they roar. Now Ariel comes, bringing all the glittering type of clothes, the gaudy type of clothes. Come hang them on this line. Prospero and Ariel remain invisible. Enter Caliban, Stefano, and Trinculo, all wet. Then Prospero orders Ariel to hang those clothes on the rope which was hanging in front of his house, and then they both remain invisible. Till then, Caliban, Stefano, and Trinculo, they enter. They are all wet because they were drenched into that pool, the dirty pool, and then they came out of that pool. Caliban, pray you tread softly that the blind mole may not hear a footfall. We now are near his cell. Then Caliban tells his Stefano that please do not make the sound of the footsteps, Otherwise, that Prospero will get up and our plan will be all marred. So he says that now we are near his cell. Stefano, monster, your fairy, which you say is a harmless fairy, has done little better than played the jack with us. Do you hear, monster? If I should take a displeasure against you, look you. Stefano is quite angry with Caliban and he says, monster, because of you, we have not gained any profit. Instead, we have suffered a lot. And who you say is harmless has behaved like a rogue towards us, because you have behaved like a rogue towards us and have caused harm to us. Do you hear, monster? If I be angry with you, then Trinculo, thou went but a lost monster. Trinculo says, then you would be a lost monster. Caliban, good my lord, give me thy favor still. Be patient for the prize I'll bring thee to shall hoodwink this mischance, therefore speak softly, all's hushed as midnight air. Caliban says, yes, I understand, but please give me this chance only. If you carry on the plan as we have plotted, your mischance or the calamities that you have suffered presently because of me, all will be redeemed. Everything will be recovered and you will get a good price for you. So please speak softly because it seems as if it is midnight and no noise is coming all around. Trinculo. But to lose our bottles in the pool. Then Trinculo says, yes, but we have lost our bottles in the pool. Stefano, there is not only disgrace and dishonor in that monster, but an infinite loss. Stefano says it is a disgrace to us and it is a great loss to us that we have lost all our wine bottles over there. Trinculo, there's more to me than my wetting, yet this is your harmless fairy monster. Trinculo, and that matters me more than getting wet because we have lost our wine bottle. I am not concerned about we have got wet, I am concerned about we have lost our wine bottles over there. And you say that he is a harmless fairy, this monster. Because of him only we have got harmed, we have lost our bottles. Stefano, I will fetch off my bottle though I be over years for my labor. Stefano says, I will get back my bottle though it means I would have to get again submerged into that dirty pool. Caliban, prithee, my king, be quiet. Seest thou here? This is the mouth o' the cell. No noise and enter. Do that good mischief with which may make this island thine own forever, and I thy Caliban for aye thy foot liquor. Then Caliban says, I request you, please do not make any noise. This is the entrance of his cell, and we shall get inside it and do whatever we have planned. And because of this only, now you will become the king of this island, and I'll be your servant, your foot licker. I will lick your feet every time. Stefano, give me thy hand. I do begin to have bloody thoughts. Stefano says, okay, give me your hand. Now I'm getting all the bloody thoughts how to carry on that plan. Trinculo. O King Stefano, O peer, O worthy Stefano, look what a wardrobe here is for thee. Then Trinculo says, O King Stefano, O worthy Stefano, look how beautiful garments are hanging over here for you. Because he looks at those colorful garments which Prospero and Ariel had hung on those ropes. Caliban, let it alone, thou fool, but it is a trash. Caliban says, please don't mind those clothes, it is a trap for us. Trinculo, oh no, monster, we know what belongs to a frippery. O King Stefano. Then Trinculo says, well, monster, we know that they belong to old clothes shop. O King Stefano. Stefano, put off that gown, Trinculo. By this hand, I'll have that gown. Now Stefano says, remove that gown, Trinculo, by this hand of mine, and I will wear this gown. Trinculo, thy grace shall have it. That means they are still somewhat in, you can say, drunkard state. So Trinculo says, okay, thy grace. He is calling him a king before the plan is executed. And he says, yes, your majesty will have it. Caliban, the dropsy drowned this fool. What do you mean to dote thus on such luggage? Let's along and do the murder first, if we awake. From toe to crown, he'll fill our skins with pinches, make us a strange stuff. Caliban says, may this fool suffer with uh, dropsy. Dropsy is a disease which causes swelling of soft tissues of the body. So he is cursing Trinculo that may this fool be suffering with dropsy, a disease. Why are you so fond of such rubbish clothes? And then he says that please first do the murder and then you can enjoy whatever is there in the environment. Otherwise, if at this point Prospero wakes up, he will make us suffer in such a way, he will cause pinches at each and every tissues of our body. Stefano, be quiet, monster. Mistress Line, is not this my jerkin? Now is the jerkin under the line. Then Stefano says, keep quiet, monster. Is not that Madam Lime Tree jacket mine? Then he says that isn't that jacket mine for the king, meant for the king? Now I have taken, isn't that jacket from the line? So it is under the line. Now jacket, you will now jerkin. So he says that this is my jacket and you will lose your hair if you try to cross your limits. I'll make you bald. Trinculo, do we steal by line and level, aren't like your grace. Trinculo says, as you like, your majesty, you can take all these clothes sequence wise. Stefano, I thank thee for that jest. Here's a garment for it. Wit shall not get unrewarded while I am king of this country. Steal by line and level is an excellent pass of pate. There's another garment for it. Stefano says, I thank you for the joke that you have made, and here is a garment as a reward for you. Wit will be appreciated when I become the king. Whenever you will be making jokes, I'll give you rewards for each and every joke. Now, the line that you have said is steal by line and level. That is a very good sentence that you have made. Again, there is a new garment for you. Take it. Trinculo. Monster, come put some lime upon your fingers and away with the rest. Then Trinculo says to Caliban that monster, come make your fingers sticky with bird lime and have the rest of the garments. He says that you also take some garments because you are also our friend. Caliban, I will have none, won't. We shall lose our time and all be turned to barnacles or to apes with four heads villainous low. Caliban says, please, I do not want to have any of these garments because I know as the time will be lost forever, we will be turned into apes and barnacles with stupid low foreheads because our chance will be gone forever. Now, barnacles is what? It is a kind of shellfish. That means he wants to say that by his magic, Prospero will turn us into such type of creatures. Stefano, monster, lay to your fingers, help to bear this away where my hoghead of wine is, or I'll turn you out of my kingdom. Go to carry this. Now, Stefano, again, he is in drunkard state. So he says that, monster, give me a helping hand to carry these garments. And if you do not obey me, then I will turn you out of my kingdom. So come on, carry these garments for me. Trinculo and this Stefano, A and this. That means they all are putting the pile of clothes on his hand, on the hand of Caliban, that take this, take this, take this. A noise of hunters heard. Enter diverse spirit in the shape of dogs and hounds and hunt them about, Prospero and Ariel setting them on. Now Prospero and Ariel by their magic have turned some of the spirits into hunting dogs, the dangerous dogs. Hounds are the you can say hunter dogs. Prospero, hey mountain, hey. Mountain is one of the spirits. So Prospero says to that spirit which has turned into the hunting dog, mountain, after them. Ariel, silver, there it goes, silver. Ariel also orders the other spirit, silver. Silver, go after them, go. Prospero, fury, fury, there, tyrant, there, hark, hark. So fury is also one of the spirits. Tyrant is also one of the spirits. So they all go. they are listening to whatever orders Prospero is giving to them. Caliban, Stefano, and Trinculo are driven out. So they all have to run in order to save their lives, all the three. Go charge my goblins that they grind their joints. With dry convulsions, shorten up their sinews with aged cramps, and more pinch spotted make them than than pard or cat or mountain. Go and tell my spirits to afflict their joints in such a way that they should have pain in their joints and make their muscles contract with cramps that affect the old people and pinch them in such a way that should be present in all their bodies that they have been pinched at those places. And the spots on the, as if it would seem as if the spots are there on the leopard's body. Ariel, hark, they roar. Listen how they are screaming with pain. Then Ariel tells to Prosperous, see how they are screaming because our spirits in the form of hunting dogs are afflicting them. Prospero, let them be hunted soundly. At this hour lie at thy mercy, at my mercy, all mine enemies. Shortly shall my labors end, and thou shalt have the air at freedom for a little follow and do me service. Prospero says, let them be chased. They should suffer. All my enemies have to be on my feet. And then, after some time, my revenge will be over. Then I will set you free. You will be free of my services. He is saying this to Ariel. You'll be free of my services. You will have to do a little more task for me, and then I will free you forever. Then they both exit. Now, this scene ends over here. This was Act 4, Scene 1. Only one scene act, in which we come to know that how Prospero has given the hand of Miranda to Ferdinand and has said that now she is your reward for all the suffering that you have done. And then in this scene, he is reminded that how Caliban has plotted against him. So he has sent all the spirits in the form of hunting dogs to chase Stefano, Trinculo, and Caliban so that they may suffer with afflictions like having the pinches all over their body and having spots of those pinches forever on their body in the form of spots of leopard. And also they should be suffering with the cramps in their muscles as old people generally suffer, and they should afflict them in their joints. Hope you people have understood this scene, and if you have understood, you can press the like button and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.